Hi everybody, wanted to do a drawing video this morning. Usually I live stream these, but I'm just going to record this one and put it up now. And as usual, I am not sure what I'm going to be drawing. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow here. Tell you what, why don't we draw a Batgirl? Batgirl was one of the characters non-Transformer characters. The only two I got at New York. Got a Batgirl and a Batman. And they're both sketch covers. It was a big sketch cover show. Sketch covers are becoming more and more the thing. And I also noticed as companies, when sketch covers first came out, the quality of paper for drawing on was not great. It's like I'm sure it was a price decision as to what the cover was going to the card stock, and they didn't really test drawing on it. But it got better. In fact, some of the paper is actually really good to draw on. In the early days of the sketch covers, there would be like very waxy. You'd ink, and then the ink just wouldn't dry. It'd wipe off very easy. And then they got a little paper with a little bit more tooth to it. And but at the show in New York, so I'm making sure I'm getting the head right here. In New York, one of the recent Transformer, I think it was one of the recent Transformer books, I can't remember, had the worst paper, and I did a sound wave on it, and I felt bad because the ink just would not take, like the Copic marker was just pushing the ink around. It was really bad. I did the best I could, and I told the guy, I was like, I'm sorry, but I did the best I could with it. It was okay. But when you're fighting the paper and fighting your tools, there's only so much you can hope for. Sometimes that can lead to your problem solving, and you actually come up with a good solution to things. And other times you just feel like you're spent all your time fighting the paper. This is going to be a very simple Batgirl, I think. Old school Batgirl. I'm not sure what the the Batgirl costume right now looks like. It's the one that has it's kind of purplish, more purple, and has like more seams or things. I can't remember. I can picture it in my head. I don't know how to describe it. Just make her eyes a little bit bigger, more. It's kind of creepy with it erased. If you want a character to look more fun, don't give them squinty eyes necessarily. Well, in general. Brighter eyes, bigger eyes. Give me a good, and that eye's off, I can tell. That just looks creepy. Again, sitting here talking and not thinking. How about one of the things, like a mistake I just made, I drew the cutout of her eyes in like the cowl eye holes before drawing the eyes. Do the eyes first. Draw better than me. When you get right down to it, that's what that's what you should always try to do. Do better than me. symbol there. I should actually probably make her do something a little more. With her arms. At least. Arms and kind of. See, now I flipped her and she looks unbalanced. This is why you flip. She's actually kind of leaning. Which I can fix pretty easy because I'm doing it on the Cintiq. Boop. Not leaning. Hooray, digital. I'm just going to cover up that arm for the sake of time. Today is the packing things up in the studio, and we start moving stuff tomorrow, and I just wanted to get something quick in today. Do this, do a little seam there, look here. Hands right there is too big. Sometimes I will, it's actually kind of, I found a little, I don't know if it's a trick or whatever, but, you know, sometimes we flip things, so I always flip things or look at them in a mirror to see if the, you know, the form, things get off center. And one thing I've discovered, I discovered it by accident, on the digital stuff, after you've drawn it and you flip it, and you see something's not quite right, just keep it flipped and draw for a few minutes and kind of sort things out, then flip it back, and just spend some time drawing, not just flipping and saying, oh, that's wrong, and then flipping it back and trying to fix it, but flip it, draw for a while, flipped, then flip it back. And for me, that really helps work those things out. I mean, you obviously can't do that with traditional stuff, but if you're having on digital, you need a little shortcut for, you know, just getting your eye to see things a little more quickly. Because sometimes I discovered it by accident because I flipped something and forgot to flip it back, and then realized, oh, wait a minute, my little inverted, the thing is flipped, and so now it's flipped. And then I flipped it back. And then I had drawn so long when I flipped it back, there was something else wrong. So you can't stay too, don't stay there too long. You know, in traditional medium, you can deal with that by just looking at it every few minutes. I mean, if you need to. If something's not feeling right, just check it and, you know, hold it up. Look at it through the back. Look at it through a mirror. If you can, it'll show a lot of problems. Reveal it. Because once you invert things, any little hiccup, any little thing that's off, it's going to stand out. All right. At this point, I am just finagling too much. There we go. Go back to my favorite nib. Zoom in a little bit. Start with the eyes. Oh, not with that color. I hate when it does that. Nice thing about Clip Studio is that at the inking stage you can still get that drawing, the sense of drawing instead of just kind of tracing your own or inking your own lines. You're still, like I'm just using the blues as a guide, but I'm still kind of being loose and doing actual drawing. Drawing with it because you have an undo button. If something's not working, it's a little more freeing. I think that's the thing that knowing that it's not permanent frees you up a little bit to try things. And when you try things, That's when you get better and all that. Excuse me. And it's always good to swallow wrong when you're doing a video. That makes for a good video. You can correct things and adjust things as you go on. My new studio is going to have, I'm downsizing a bit. The house we're moving to is bigger, but the studio space is a different shape, so I've got to downsize. But I think it's going to work out, because right now, if you've seen from some of my videos, my actual drawing table is way over, it's good 12, 15 feet away from me. And anytime I have to look up anything on the computer or whatever, I just that constant walking back and forth. Not constant, but if there's a message or something that can disrupt the flow. My new one's going to actually have the table right here. No, wait, on this side. But anyway, it's going to connect, so basically I can just spin around and work and do what I need to do, and I hope that's going to let me be a little more productive in the long run. I think it'll help with commissions and things, even when I scan, because the layout of my room actually makes no sense, because my scanner is way over there next to the table. So I print things out, have to walk over there, then go to the table, scan it in, come back over here. That will be a little more efficient. I think that's really the biggest thing. And looking things up for reference, but I use my iPad for that over there on the desk. I'm sure you care about all this. Very. So nobody cares, Brian. Nobody cares. Now let's flip this face and see that it's. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I don't know if I'll color this one or not. See how I feel at the end of the thing. Sometimes things just, I don't know, there's a different feel to every stage of the pencil. If you look at some really good pencils, really rendered pencils, and then but you've only seen like the inked version, like in the comic, there's a quality to the pencil rendering that when you ink it gets lost. And there's a quality to just the inks that when they're colored also get lost. So it just depends on what you're going for as far as style and feel and all that. Let's zoom out a bit. little thingies. What are they? Little blades. Well, that, I just realized that I totally just pooped those out there, didn't I? The wrong button there. I went to, when I was in New York, I stopped by the Wacom booth. Nobody was there. It was, I don't like that hand. It was like before the show opened, and they had the, gosh, I don't know how big it is. That big? Huge? Cintiq? Man, that would be nice. I don't know where I'd put it, but it would be nice. If only I had a couple $1,000 just to plop down on it. Actually, that would be a learning curve. Every time, like I had said, you get used to the size of whatever you're working on. And I realized doing the last G.I. Joe cover that I had come so accustomed at drawing at 13.5, like this particular size, which is, you can't tell up there, but that's my screen size, right? It's 13.5. A little bit bigger than an iPad. Well, I guess the big iPad's about this size now. And it affects the lines you get, what you're used to. So if I switch to a higher bigger sized Cintiq, there would definitely be another season of adapting. What do I want to do with this hand? I'm just gonna make it come behind her. I'm being lazy. Starting to be a little loose down here with these details. Alright, let's work on her hair a bit. Turn the blue off and see what I forgot to ink. I need to get some more RAM in my computer. Maybe that will fix the lag. There's some darkening up here. Some different line weights just to break things up and make it read better. Alright. Alright, well, there is a BATGIRL. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I may color it later and do a coloring video in another one, but it's a good place to stop. And as always, like and subscribe way over there, or subscribe down here where I am. Where's the thing? That way, right there. And check out some other videos. I will have, I'll try to get some might have some vlogs up next week. It's moving week, so it'll be a little crazy. But you may be watching this after then, so disregard that if that's the case. Anyway, I will see you next time.